Ever since Splatoon 3 got revealed back in February 2021, critics to the game's very existence have been asking a very important question. Why do we need another Splatoon on the Switch when we've already got one, and the Splatoon game we got for this generation doesn't need another yet, if it already got 2 years of consistent content updates? Well, today I'm going to give the answer as to why we need a second Splatoon on the Switch. When Splatoon 2 launched on the Switch back in 2017, it wasn't in nearly as good of a state that the game is in now. Splatoon 2 launched with 6 new maps, no new ranked modes, and the most dull campaign the series has ever seen. Cimarron also only launched with 2 stages and got a grand total of 3 more over its lifespan. Nintendo had to rush Splatoon 2 so quickly because of the horrible state they were in after finally jumping ship on the Wii U. Nintendo rushed Splatoon 2 to the Switch for the sole reason of just saying that the Switch had games. It didn't matter what state the games came out in, it just needed to exist and be exclusive to the Switch. Eventually, updates helped bring this game to a better state, but they couldn't fix certain design principles that the game was built around. Stuff like how most special weapons were existing just to get opponents to move somewhere else. By the time Nintendo had officially stated they were done with Splatoon 2 updates, Splatoon 2 was peaking in popularity and had sold over 10 million units. These high numbers gave the go-ahead from the corporate side of Nintendo to go ahead and make another Splatoon. The series was worth another title sooner rather than later. Splatoon isn't like all of the one per generation Nintendo games. That's never been Splatoon's design philosophy. Nintendo has publicly stated that Splatoon is supposed to be a live, living world that's always changing. They've been telling us this since 2014. So what's really curious isn't why they're giving us another Splatoon game on the Switch, it's why they've taken so long to get it to us. Typically, Nintendo games like Mario and Zelda are one mainline game per series per generation. However, that's not how many games those series will have in the actual console generation. What I mean by this is that there's typically a new Mario and Zelda game every year, whether it's a bigger or smaller entry in the series. There's always going to be a new one every year. Splatoon has already proven to be one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, so why wouldn't they give the game the best treatment possible? Besides, there are other Nintendo franchises that are also getting another big game for this generation, so what's the big deal with Splatoon getting one? It was really made to keep going after one game. But Splatoon isn't just one of Nintendo's biggest series. It's special in the sense that while being one of Nintendo's youngest series, it's already become one of Nintendo's most well-known IPs. Nintendo has tried to make other games from scratch, and they haven't even come close to being able to hold a candle to Splatoon. What makes Splatoon so easy to connect with people isn't well known yet, but it's clearly something that Nintendo wants to try to learn so they can make more of it. Splatoon is an experiment for Nintendo. They struck gold with a new IP, in a time where people only thought of Nintendo as that company that used to make the Wii and now makes the Wii U. I can go on and on as to why we need another Splatoon on the Switch, but I think 3 reasons is good enough for today. Honestly, if Nintendo didn't feel like investing in another Splatoon as something that would be worth it, we wouldn't be getting it. A choice was made by Nintendo to not follow their norm and instead try something new with launching a second Splatoon on the Switch. Maybe they see this as a gamble. Maybe they know something that we don't know, but what we do know for sure is that there's a lot of good reasons to make another Splatoon on the Switch. But anyways, gamers, that is it from me. What do you think? Are you happy with Splatoon 3 coming to Switch, or would you rather see it come to the next console generation? Remember to keep your comments civil. Alright gamers, see ya.